Check 1, 2. My name is Lacy Brinson, and this song is called Travelin' Alone. I went down that road where you told me to go, but what I found makes me wonder if you're friend or foe. It started out alright, a full moon starry night, but when the temperature dropped, well, the frost had a real hard bite. I don't know why you let me go, but I'm turning back around. Traveling alone ain't all they say it is, no how. I came back around, but you were nowhere to be found. Your house was dark and your dogs didn't make a sound. I let myself in the door, I dropped my suitcase on the floor. I climbed in a bed, by then it was 3:45. I don't know why you let me go, but I'm turning back around. Traveling alone ain't all they say it is, no how. I woke up and there you were. Well, it all felt like a blur. You pulled me close, and that's when I knew for sure that we should both go down that road where you told me to go. It's better with you, you can help me carry the load. Now I know why you let me go, and I'm glad I turned around. Traveling alone ain't all they say it is, no how. Traveling with you is all I want to do right now. So I've been singing since I was a little girl. My granddaddy was a circuit riding Southern Baptist preacher in North Florida, South Georgia. And so he would go like church to church, and he would take me and I would sing and he would preach. And so that's how I started, and I was like 2. And so then I just kept singing in a church, and then actually went to law school, so did that instead of music. And then quickly realized I needed an outlet. And so I started singing again, professionally, probably like in 2010. And then a few years after that, my now husband moved out here to take a job in the oil field, and I can't do long distance, so I followed him, and that's how I got to San Antonio. And then we love it here, so we stayed. And when I moved out here, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna do this, because I knew this was perfect for live music. And so I started, you know how we do. I started stalking everyone online about who I needed to be following. And so I actually got a gig within like a week of moving here. It was not paid. And they're like, all right, yeah, you're fine. It was like a Wednesday night. And they're like, okay, we're going to book you through the end of the year. And I was like, great, hopefully you're paying me. So they did. That one was Fralo's off of I-10. And I played there for years. It was fun. So and that's actually how I got to meet some other musicians and got to meet a lot of people within the community, and started doing private shows and weddings and corporate stuff. And so yeah, they gave me my first gig in San Antonio. I think I try to draw my inspirations from my own experiences. So a lot of that, there's a part of my repertoire that is my husband calls man-hating songs, because it's just, as a woman, I write about the things I've been through. And so as my life evolves, that's kind of where I'm getting my inspiration. So, bad breakups or, young love, right? And then now I write about marriage and kids and whatever else I can think of. This song is called No Tear in My Beer. This ain't a tear in my beer song, it's a why am I still here song. Yeah, we got the kids, babe, but right now I can't stand your face. It's a 2-car garage song, you're snoring louder than a train song, and I'll keep on drinking just like Hank, 'cause like him I ain't slept a wink. What started as a weekend fling, it turned into a loving thing, and then a house and jobs and credit cards. Well, love was easy, but life is hard. Then along came baby number 1, and right after I was born, a second son. And these last few years have been a blur, starting to forget just who we were. This ain't a tear in my beer song, it's a how did I get here song. Well, I could have been a superstar with champagne backstage and caviar. A tour bus and a spotlight song, the crowds all could have sang a long song, but an empty hotel room each night without you here would not feel right. Storm clouds gather, but they don't stay. Magnolias bloom and blow our way. Rain clouds drop the water down. Magnolias bloom and blow around. Well, I know I drive you crazy too, with all the nagging that I do. But if you just do what I say, we wouldn't fight like this all day. I'm really not that hard to please. Just do the dishes and the lingerie, and while you're at it, feed the kids, 'cause ain't that just what marriage is? This ain't a tear in my beer song, it's a why don't we keep going song, just like that Robert Earl song, where the road goes on and on and on. Songwriting is not easy for me. I struggle with that quite a bit, and I have to really sit down and concentrate, and it's hard to find the time to do that. So I haven't written a lot since I had kids, because it's hard to find time to do anything. But now that they're getting a little older, I can set aside some time and just sit and write. I prefer to co-write, because that way it's not all on me. And so then I can brainstorm with other musicians. And but yeah, that's how it's a process. I just finished one this morning, that I started writing like 2 years ago. So it just takes a long time. I'll have an idea, but then I won't have any idea how to execute it. And so it just develops sort of organically over time. I think that it's different now than it was before COVID. And I think now, I don't know if it's because we have a new generation that is now out and about performing, or just COVID just changed all of us. But I find it to be so much more collaborative now, and supportive, and less competitive. And I know it's not like that in every circle, but before COVID, I felt like San Antonio had a lot of pockets of musicians, and you needed to be in one of them at least if you were going to do anything. But now I feel like a bunch of people really kind of blend with the different, it's not really as cliquish, And there are more women, I feel like, that are singing now and performing. And when I first moved to San Antonio, I could count like 3 women that I would see singing out and about. And so now I have this real, like an actual circle of friends, male and female musicians, and we collaborate, we write together, we hang out together, and I just, it's great. And I think that it's not just San Antonio. I think it starts here, but it goes up through the hill country, sometimes even up to Austin. And so it's just really nice to have that networking connection. And I think also with social media, everybody is sharing each other's each other's music, sharing their videos, sharing their releases, doing videos and then sharing those, it's just really, it's fun. It's fun to go out and watch your friends and support them and then cheer them on. And so, yeah, I love it. This next song is called You Left Me for Mud. You left me for mud, and I tried not to get mad. It pays you more money, and that part's not so bad. 1 week with you, the next week I'm without. And right when I get used to you, well, it's time to kick you out. I really hate that mud for taking you away, but I'll take that money, 'cause I'll get you back someday. Get that mud right the way it needs to be, and keep that oil flowing, and then come on to me. Get that mud right the way it needs to be, and keep that oil flowing, and then come on to me. Now you're my sugar daddy, but you're all covered in mud. Let's get you cleaned up and spend that money like we should. Trips to sexy places, flying first class. This week is my week, and that rig can kiss my ass. Get that mud right the way it needs to be, keep that oil flowing, and then come home to me. Get that mud right the way it needs to be, and keep that oil flowing, and then come home to me. And then come home to me. And then come home to me. I do think that we could benefit in San Antonio from some more listening room experiences. I think we have some venues that are perfect for that. It's just really more about, I think, training the audience, educating the audience as to what a listening room environment is. We have so many incredible local musicians and so many incredible songwriters. And so I think what I would like to do, as I get old, what I would like to do is sort of try to make that happen. Get the musicians together, get the songwriters together, get a venue to host, and provide a good space for that type of listening room experience. Because I traveled back to Florida last year, and they had created one of those venues that I had never seen before in my town, and it was amazing. And I went and I saw 4 songwriters there perform, and still now I'm following them on socials, and we're trying to play gigs together. And it's just, that is so cool, because you get to know the musician and you get to know like their writing style and their stories behind their songs. So I would love to see more of that. And I think there are a few venues that would be perfect. So I just finished, I'm not finished, but we recorded one of the songs. We recorded The Cowboy Kind at Enabler Studios, and it was with Nick Lawrence was the sound engineer, and my friend Wally Robles, who's another musician. He produced the song. So we're not quite done with it, but we are going to be releasing that later this year. And it's sort of a stripped down version, but it is full band. So we got steel guitar on it, and we have drums and mandolin, and so it's beautiful. And so I'm really excited to finish that up. I think we still have to go do a few more vocal sessions to clean that up, but that'll be coming out. We would love to push that to Texas radio. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's what we're going to try to do. And then I still have a lot of songs I recorded back in 2019, and I haven't released them. They're covers, and I was just kind of hoarding them. But I think I was releasing them every 6 weeks, and then I got a little busy, and so I stopped. But I would like to release the rest of those so that they're out on Spotify and wherever. But yeah, that's what I got. So the Cowboy Kind, I actually did not write that when my uncle wrote it, and I remember him singing that about my little cousin back in that. Well, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I remember him singing that a long time ago. And then when he passed away in 2016, his wife, my aunt, sent me all of his songwriting materials, and it was in a big Tupperware. And I just, when I finally had the, when I finally had the bandwidth to go through it, I looked and I found all of his handwritten lyrics, and I found the lyrics to this song, and I remembered the melody perfectly as if like I had just heard it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot about this song. It's so good. And at that point in my life, I had 2 little boys. I had I have 2 boys. And but at the time, they were 3, which is about the same time as I remember my uncle writing that song about my cousin. And when my cousin was 3. And my cousin had just come to San Antonio to live with us too. So that was really cool because I got to take those lyrics out and frame them and give them to my cousin. And that meant a lot to him because, of course, he has that kind of formed in his memory. And then I got to, play it and sing it. It just took on a whole new meaning for me being a mom than it did when it was written about my cousin, And so I am really excited to be able to put that out. My uncle he recorded some stuff in the studio, but he never put it out for the masses, right? So my friend Wally heard it, and he actually is playing lead guitar on it and mandolin, and he just helped me arrange the song, and we changed the lyrics a little bit on some parts and to make it a little bit more commercial. But I'm really excited, and it was so cool being in the studio with Wally because he's so respectful, and I did not expect this at all, but we were about to get ready to record, and he said he had everyone be quiet, and then he said we're gonna dedicate this to Lacy's uncle, and he said his name, Jack Cross Jr., and I was like, oh my gosh! And then my mom got to come and sit there and listen, and so I was like, this is really special. So I was really grateful to Wally for giving it that level of respect, and I think it's gonna be a good one. This song is called "The Cowboy Kind." He's got his cowboy boots on and the hat I bought for him. The remainder of his ice cream cone still running down his chin. He whoops and ropes and wrangles, but the rocking horse he rides don't go nowhere. His lasso is in tangles, his wooden 6-gun makes no noise, but he don't care. He wants to be a cowboy, tells me all the time. Each time he gets a new toy, well, he wants that cowboy kind. I know that little boy is only 3, but he'll always be the cowboy kind to me. Said, well, howdy, mister, I'm headed to a pony race. He takes a pot shot at his sister with a big grin on his face. He sees bad guys everywhere, but they vanish as he beats them on the draw. He's got Ninja Turtle underwear, but in his cowboy land he's still the law. He wants to be a cowboy, cowboy. He tells me all the time, each time he gets a new toy. Well, he wants the cowboy kind. I know that little boy is only 3, but he'll always be the cowboy kind to me. It's almost time for bed now, but he won't take off his boots. Rather chase outlaws instead now and holler while he shoots. And as he slowly settles down, he likes to hear a little western song. Then he dreams the bad guys out of town, and when he wakes up they best be gone. He wants to be a cowboy, he tells me every day. He tries to be a good boy and carry on that cowboy way. I know that little boy is only 3, but he'll always be